One important feature of the church described in the Bible is that it was prophesied to arrive at a very specific time in history. The Church of Christ is the only church that fits the criteria laid down in the Bible in this regard. I'm James, and this is Moral Video Productions. Welcome to our channel. In the first lesson in this series, we looked at two attributes that the church must have to be right with God, and they were that, number one, it must have the right builder, and two, that it was built upon the right foundation. Now, allow me to explain what I mean that the right church must have been built at the right time. First, when King Nebuchadnezzar asked Daniel to interpret his unusual dream, recorded in Daniel chapter 2, verses 22 through 45, you remember that the figure of a man of different types of metal was there, and Nebuchadnezzar had no idea what it meant. Well, Daniel revealed that God would establish the Messianic kingdom during the time of the fourth of those kingdoms represented in that dream, which would have been the Roman Empire. The kingdoms represented were Nebuchadnezzar's own Babylon, then the Medo-Persian kingdom, followed by the Greek, and then the Roman Empire. Since history records that the Roman domination of Palestine began in 63 BC and continued until AD 476, it would have to be during that limited time frame that the Lord's church would appear. But can we narrow that time down further? Well, I think so. Second, in Genesis 49 verse 10, Moses wrote concerning the future Messiah, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh comes." Shiloh, an Old Testament name for the Messiah, thus was promised to come before the scepter departed from Judah. This meant that Christ had to be on earth before the Jews lost their national sovereignty or their judicial power represented by the scepter of Genesis 49 verse 10, which included the Jews' right to execute capital punishment. Interestingly, when Rome disposed of Archelaus in AD 6, Coponius was installed as Judah's first procurator, a title that is a specific type of ruler. And from that time on, Roman procurators held the power of jurisdiction regarding capital punishment in Israel. That's why the Jews had to bring Jesus to Pilate for permission to put him to death. They could not do so without sanction from Rome. Third, Daniel predicted, as recorded in Daniel 9, 24 through 27, that the Messiah would bring an end to sacrifice and offering before the destruction of Jerusalem. History shows us that the temple was obliterated by the Romans in AD 70, preventing any further ability to follow the law of Moses to offer animal sacrifices to God. Thus, Christ had to arrive sometime prior to AD 70. Fourth, the Messiah was prophesied to be born in Bethlehem of Judea, Micah 5 and verse 2. It is a matter of historical record that Jesus was born in Bethlehem while Palestine was under Roman rule, before Judah lost her judicial power and before the destruction of Jerusalem. Thus, both the Scriptures and secular history make it abundantly clear that the church arrived exactly when it was supposed to arrive, just as what Paul referred to in Galatians 6 and verse 10 as the fullness of time. Can you say the same about the church of which you are a member? In Lesson 3 of the What is Right with the Church of Christ series, we'll add another requirement that the right church must have today to be right with God. That is, the church must have the right place of origin. We truly hope that you're enjoying these lessons and that you will share them with your friends. Hey, why not even share them with your enemies? We want to be right with God, and our goal is to help others to do the same. Won't you please subscribe to our channel? Click the like button and leave us a comment. This would really help our channel grow. We know that content like ours won't be well promoted by the social media algorithms. Tune in next time and remember always, judge righteous judgment.